Gabby might just back off at the exact right moment. Working towards his own Desolator right now on that TA.
Is under attack.
He's going to have it up rather soon. Sensing something is awry though, he does back off and he should be safe. In fact, TPs are incoming from Carl. But it is cancelled off immediately. Carl, maybe just going a bit too far forward. A bit too obvious there and just easy to connect with the stun for XC Learn.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That bottom T1 tower is just going to be forfeited the way of it. RSG. T1, I suppose for them with their draft, they are playing a lot greedier. So they're just going to buy more time to keep that farm going.
Radiant's middle tower is
just
under
need
attack.
to build up. They know they've got item spikes lined up here on T1's end. Just have to hold on till the TA's in fighting form. They're going to have a Eul's up on Carl as well. That could be the launching point for T1, having that stable control coming out. And Cuckoo is starting to save up for his blink. Has the Aether Lens up for that added reach on Black Hole Cast, and the Malefice, very important. Even the added range in Midnight Pulse can be really nice in catching some heroes juking around. RSG, for their part, I don't think they mind playing the farm war, though. It's still a Terrorblade, it's still a Lesh who's getting some early build-up, and it's an opportunity for Xiao Yu to just catch up, try to save up for his own blink. Vlad's already up, so a nice R to play with, especially for the Terrorblade here. And they still have that threatening team fight from RSG's end. Curse, Rolling Thunder, stolen spells from Roger, all can be massive in the middle of this.
Whitemon and Zephyr going to start hanging around. Xiao Yu, XC Learn, they are there as the left rack. Take the banner in away, but is going to be unable to catch anyone here. Zephyr will just run his way out. 7-9. 2k net worth lead still standing for RSG. Most of that sitting on XC Learn. Carl does show himself in the Void Spirit, but won't make the jump in, of course. Again, I think T1 are just more than happy if RSG are not taking towers off them. Just trying to hold out, buy that time to have those core items up.
Did you think
for now, T1, they just don't seem interested.
Yep. Again, just playing a very defensive game. T1 this time with a draft that kind of does want to take it slow. Maybe would want to try to committing Black Hole, but it's not the easiest game for Cuckoo to ensure it's not going to be stolen by the Rubik, not going to be interrupted by the Winter's Curse or the roll. So that does lead to one of their big teamfight spells just not being able to be leveraged here. The side of RSG still playing aggressively up top.
XC Learn trying to move forward. Shackles won't land there from Zephyr. Carl, move in. Bon may get caught up, but no, they still want the left track. So XC Learn going to rush forward. Still feeling perfectly fine with that Eternal Shroud. T1, the ones that need to set up a fight is now the Gale has connected from Zephyr, but there's no follow-up to it. So then again, John, we have seen this Enigma Wind Ranger combination quite a lot during that major. Did win a major, in fact, for OG. So T1 believing in it. It's a very nice Shackles does land from Zephyr. MKS already popping his meta, wanting that top T2 tower. T1 looking to play the slow game once again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
All set for the defense. Xiao Bon and a good angle though. Cuckoo does have a lot of reach with a Black Hole. He finds a good opportunity.
He's got nothing to block off that Winter's Curse, as Whitemon might find Xiao Bon in just a moment. They haven't spotted him out yet. Shackle's not going to land. Winter's Curse out. They've got Whitemon on the Tiny. Cuckoo needs to move his way in. Can't do so quite yet. Xiao Yu, he's going to find him in the tree line. T1, they're in big trouble. Zephyr is going to try and back out. Carl will do the same and does somehow make it. But in the meantime, Cuckoo has been caught. Zephyr does TP up, but you're going to lose the Enigma. And the top T2 tower for that matter. RSG, they get what they came for in the voice lines they've started. T1, just no right being at that top lane. They do end up getting punished heavily.
I mean, it's just so tough for them to work an angle from Black Hole. You saw how patient Cuckoo was trying to be. The moment he saw the roll, he tried to back off, knew that he was in a very tough spot to do anything to contribute to that fight. The only blessing here for T1 is this is a ton of space for Gabby, number 1 in net worth now. The Desolator up and running on RTA. Blink not too far off fighter.
I'm getting a little bit aggressive there on the Tiny, maybe looking for a bit of a toss back with the Tumbler's Toy. Carl will jump in with the Yule Scepter. XC Learn gonna happily move in. There's your Gale Force up, but he's happy to, or maybe he's not. That's a lot of damage. XC Learn just getting kind of shredded by Gabby. And now a 5-man smoker. And with the Gale Force, I mean, you've got to be careful. At first, it seemed like he wanted to go in, but he saw Gabby and he's like, no, not this time. Roshan started now. T1 with the Desolator up on Gabby can get this done very fast, but they might go for the fight first instead. Carl being caught out with the Rolling Thunder. Xiao Yu, it's a great initiation. Carl is going to get taken out as now they've got Gabby held down on the TA. Sunder, MKS going to connect perfectly as Gabby. And T1 have gone too far. Roger chasing for a bit more, but doesn't have lift available right now. Instead, though, Xiao Yu going to keep the fight going. Nice shackle from Zephyr. Will hold him down, but Roger, he's got the Malefice. That'll stun up Cuckoo. Hold him down long enough, and he's gone. Oh, T1, they get a little bit too confident. Sad part is, John, that fight happened without XC Learn.
Yeah, and they got a good kill. They tried to force more out of it instead of going for the safe play on Roche, and now they're going to lose Roche on themselves. RSG go in. Damage output is there from MKS. Can be a secondary life up on our Terrorblade potentially coming through here. And T1 just can't play it. We haven't seen a single black hole out from Cuckoo. Again, it's a tough game for the Enigma. But that's the brunt of their team fight outside of maybe Gale Force and a good Avalanche Toss and Shackle. Like, that is your biggest, widest, most threatening AoE spell, and they can't use it. Blink still being saved up for Cuckoo, BKB, Lincoln still a mile off after that as well. And I think for T1, they've got to be able to just take these pickoffs and go for objectives and keep trying to get that build-up they need on Gabby. Like, the Blink Deso is big. He can rip something like the Leshrac to shreds, but they need some spell immunity on hand, and none of their cores are really close to that just yet.
They certainly are not. RSG still the ones in the lead here with a 5k net worth lead. KS happy, just holding on to that Aegis. We've seen TAs multiple times today, John, and if they do fall behind, they don't tend to perform very well. Down towards the bot lane, though. XC Learn very far forward. Jarbon Bon right behind him with the Winter's Curse to try and save if necessary. And T1, they do not make the jump in. They're not confident. I don't believe they actually saw the Winter Wyvern either. They just thought that somebody might be behind him. They won't go for the jump.
They respect it. I think that's the safe play. I think T1 right now understands that they could maybe try to trudge on for a bit of a later part of the game, try to get at least some early BKBs before they force any major commitment. That is giving MKS still the room down mid. It's only Cuckoo holding his lane. Midnight Pulse can slow down the progress of the push. Does not really stop MKS from just doing what he wants here. So he will just trudge out. No metamorphosis for half a minute.
They at least found the Wyvern. But they are going to trade a mid-tier 2 for that. It doesn't seem very worthwhile for T1.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They leave Cuckoo alone to try to defend that. No one else to help him out. And MKS just gets to rip at it along with XC Learn. Only one outer tower left. Zephyr.
Zephyr gonna get caught. Rolling Thunder is there from Xiao Yu, and he's got the perfect kind of situation where he can just keep connecting the stun. Very nice from Xiao Yu. RSG, they're looking much like that game 1 RSG we saw, John. T1, sadly, also looking like that team we saw in game 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a massive kill. Zephyr had a 6 times kill streak, so 600 gold going to Xiao Yu all by himself. He was bottom network core. Now he's above at least 2 T1 cores. Go for defense.
Oh, Carl. Getting caught by Roger, and XC Learn happily takes him out. Carl just cannot survive the onslaught from this Leshrac. Even with the Yule Scepter up, it's just too much.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet. I mean, he can use it defensively, but Leshrac does have counterplay for that. He can just wait and get split right off, and even all the control, all of the chaining together from the side of RSG would lift into the stun. They still have the Aegis for 2 minutes as well. They just go high ground.
He's found Cuckoo on the Enigma. There's going to be no black hole. He's got buyback available. MKS, does he want to keep going? He'll sunder Jarbon Bon. Nice initiation from Whitemon, but there's no follow-up to it. Instead, T1 just trying to prep for the defense. They don't want to fight into this Metamorphosis right now. Not into the Aegis either, but they've got no choice in the matter. Carl, he's going to try to jump in, but has to jump right back out. MKS in the meantime, he'll find the mid-racks, surely. As T1, they are still trying to hold, just poke and prod at this Terrorblade, but he's still fine. Gabby instead going to jump on Roger, does at least find the Rubik, but look at the damage output. Winter's Curse is out. MKS, he's got time to try and go after this TA, but Carl is going to hold him back. Gabby trying to find a way out, but the big hippies ward off. MKS going to rush right in. They take the kill with Zhao Yu. They might find the Aegis, and they will,
Dire's middle barracks.
but they got so much out of this mid-team fight. RSG, one step closer to taking game number 3 in the whole series altogether. T1, they've got a lot of work to do in this game, John.
Yeah, they have a lot to try to hold out, and we saw them do some great holds in game 1. Let's see if they can pull that off here, but
Dire's
RSG
top
aren't
tower
backing off.
is under
They
attack.
recognize that the Enigma might be a threat. We've got the tools to handle it. It's very difficult for Cuckoo to commit any sort of black hole, though.
Carl trying his best to slow this down as best as possible. There goes another top tier 3 tower. Aegis not up, so they are going to have to back off. They'll respect T1 and their draft, as Carl is going to go for a bit of a chase, but he's going to be very cautious. Just not safe at the moment. And Cuckoo, realizing he can't go straight into like an Octarine core, does end up picking up the blink now. But T1, they have been punished heavily.
I mean, they have not much to work on their high ground
Dire's
anymore.
top
They're
barracks are
always
under
going to have to
attack.
respond to the top aggression, the top shove in. So someone's always got to be able to watch that base. They still need more build-up here on Carl, working towards the Ags. Does have high Sanj. Does have a little bit more durability and damage on hand here. And Gabby has already shown that BKB. He needs more. It just doesn't feel like he can burst the big gears fast enough. So RSG are going for a smoke, but so is T1.
XE Learn being caught out. That'll be a big pickup if T1 can find it. They're going to try, but the Bloodstone is there. XE Learn surviving. Is now RSG coming in from the backside. Big Winter's Curse out. It's going to buy a bit of time, but the Black Hole is there. Cuckoo trying to save the day. XE Learn. He does finally end up dropping. MKS though moving in, trying to find Gabby. But where's the detection? Gabby's fine. T1, they're backing their way out successfully. At least for now. Carl might eventually get caught out. Gabby is still sitting in the meld strike. He has not moved. I guess they're going to creep skip this one. I can't believe he hasn't been caught. Meanwhile, Zephyr still dragging this out quite a bit, making sure that MKS cannot hit the T2 tower, but now Carl is going to get caught. They just don't have the disable yet, so MKS still will be chased down. Zhao Bon does end up going down. As now, well, the TB, he's going to be all right, but no, not for long. They got Carl, but they lose MKS. As Roger's going to drop to boot. T1 making the defense work now. So they get a 1-for-4 trade. RSG, the one's going a bit too far.
Dire's
I
top
mean,
barracks are under
They
attack.
managed to get the blink cancel with a Wraith Pack walking through, but they never got the vision down. Just they had the wards, they had these dust up on Roger to just figure that Gabby was long gone, and they get punished. Good flank around, catching the Winter Wyvern in the back. There was no Winter's
Dire's
Curse, but
middle
the threat of the
tower is
heal.
under attack.
Presence coming out with the Arctic Burn is still big for RSG's end. And T1 gets to drag this game on a little bit longer. Still an 8k lead for RSG. Gabby, though, still catching up, working onto the Lincolns next to block that Winter's Curse. And Cuckoo now finally going for Lincolns. So gonna have some defense up in the middle of these black holes. Did manage to get his first black hole. Very impactful with the Gale Force on top of it. And leading to those set of events. So as this game does scale on, T1 does get more tools to play with. This is Enigma dragging into, the early parts of the late game. This is a TA, this is a Void Spirit who's going to go for Ags. There's a lot RSG will have to watch out for, and they start to get constrained by when MKS can fight. It's all going to be tied into that metamorphosis here on the TV. And if it's
Dire are
down,
scanning.
it just feels like RSG might not be able to come in. Excellent's still fairly tanky on that Lesh, and he can still dish out a lot of damage in the middle of it. You do still have to respect T1's power. They've still got some on hand, and they can still punish you for overextending.
Well, it seems like they're waiting for Roshan right now here, RSG. T1 will be in a position to fight. They'll have Black Hole back up in 20 seconds here for Cuckoo, so the blink up. They should have no problems trying to force the fight in the Roshan pit. Still very hard to find a decent Black Hole in this kind of game with so many ways to cancel it. No BKB, no Lincolns yet for Cuckoo. He's got some Spider Legs though, that'll help. At least with the initiation. It's RSG grouping up in the mid lane, hoping to find themselves a pick off as Carl. He is going to be around on the Void Spirit. Is this bait though? Carl, surely, is not running through the mid lane on purpose. So they are going to smoke up. Smoke broken immediately. Carl, he's going to get lifted up. He hasn't realized yet. They stun him up. But can they burst him down? Whitemon trying to save it. The Rolling Thunder. It connected in time. Carl still going to be able to step out though. Is going to survive the initial onslaught. Towards the left side, Gabby. He's a much bigger target, but he's found Xiaobon Bon. Now with the TP out, he's been bashed up. Oh, Xiao Yu had a basher. That's a massive kill for the side of RSG.
Yeah, they've had that for a while. They canceled the Black Hole a while ago with that basher as well in the swash. And Gabby's gone without buyback. This could lead to another high ground push. RSG opting to go for that instead of something like a Roshan Metamorphosis. Not the longest time in the world left for MKS, but we've seen this before. He does still do substantial damage to towers if he's allowed to.
Jump in from Carl. Oh, XE learn. He's caught the Void Spirit already. Carl is going to be okay. Sunder from MKS keeping him alive and well to keep going for this fight. As Carl continues to chip away at XE Learn. He's unable to find the kills he's looking for so far, but he is definitely chipping away at the HP pools of RSG. He's going to jump in again onto XE Learn, but has he gone too far? Whitemon is there to try and help out, but he's going to sacrifice his own life as now Xiao Yu does catch out the Void Spirit. Carl, he can't afford to die right now. Yule Scepter out. Astral Step in 1 second. He needs it right now though, and it's not going to be enough. Carl's down. He has buyback. He may need to commit it as they've lost their second lane of barracks, and now RSG, they want to die for more. Reflection is there. MKS doesn't have the Metamorphosis. Cuckoo has the Black Hole but gets silenced up, but he does get towards that fountain. He is going to survive another day. One lane of barracks left here for RSG. T1, when things are getting desperate, they're going to jump in. Gabby is there. Winter's Curse does save. Gabby gonna get turned on. There's your Sunder. MKS, he's got the reset, the bash out. Gabby's gone. No buyback available for the TA. T1, they're in big trouble now. You've still got the Black Hole on Cuckoo. RSG, do they not realize there's no buyback? They may not.
Yeah, they back off. They play it safe. They opt to not push as much as they can. They could probably just threaten to your force. Especially with that Diabolic Edict. Instead, they will go into the Roche. So they'll still find a big objective. T1 gets to live another day, another fight left for them. And bot racks are ready for the taking, though. No more tier 2 left. Now, Roche doesn't take too long for MKS. Already has a nice casual Chrysalis on hand as well. Damage output is set to skyrocket, and that secondary life is up now. Free shard to go his way as well. Wonder if he passes it on or just uses it on himself for the Demon Zeal. Does hold on to it for now, but the smoke is out. One last move here in T1. This could be the end, Mike.
It certainly could be. You've got 30 seconds without this TA. They've caught Cuckoo already. That's a massive one. He needs the Black Hole. He needs to be in the next team fight, but Cuckoo might be gone. And he will be. Still Black Hole. Rather, buyback is available with the Black Hole. They are going to commit it. Gabby up in 10. They can't fight without the TA, but they're losing their tier 4 towers. RSG, they might be able to pull off a massive upset. This game's looking very over. The Ancient, it's under siege, and there's no way to defend it. T1, they've dropped the game against RSG. They've lost the series. They have lost the series against RSG. Who would have believed that, Jonathan?
You know, if you asked me at the end of Div 2 Tour 2, I would say, yeah, you know, RSG was going to give a good fight up against the top 2 teams of C. After BTS Pro Series, I think my faith in them got kind of shaken up. It felt like maybe they got figured out, maybe the other teams managed to get their research out, but they proved to us that that was a learning experience for them. Perhaps they just used Pro Series to kind of hammer in their bond, hammer in some tactics, get some practice in, and they show up where it matters here in the DPC. They